I'm Jax, and today we're going to take a look at the next question in our New Year, New Ways series. Are your intimate associates mentally superior or inferior to you? Well, I can tell you that when I first read this question, my hackles went up. I don't want to think about superiority, inferiority anymore. It's actually a paradigm that I don't want in my mindset. But since the question brought it up, I thought, well, maybe there are some areas in my life where I'm still not haven't addressed the superiority and inferiority complexes. So, and that could be why I'm having my hackles come up. Inferiority and superiority. Well, superiority is where you feel that you're better than someone else. And I know that I had the superiority in feelings that I was a know-it-all and that I had arrived and I was all that in a bag of chips. And I would compare myself to people who did not have the same strengths that I did. I compared my strength against their weaknesses. And it was kind of a self-elevation because look at me, look what I can do. And then I realized that it brought out a feeling in myself that was not confidence. And this is, I think, where the difference where superiority comes from. This is where it's not confidence. Because if you're a confident person and you know who you are, you don't have to prove it to someone. Like if you talk to someone, I've seen in the sports world, where they know that they're a good player, they don't have to prove it. They don't have to boast. They don't have to have any kind of, oh, look at me kind of mindset, because they just know. And I know that when I was having that I was battling deeply with my belief that I'm not good enough and I can't do anything right. That's where it was the source of my superiority complex, because it would be like, look at me, I finally did something right. I finally did something that there was no mistakes, and I could show the world that I didn't have that feeling anymore. And that's where the superiority complex came from. The inferiority, the same. When I was feeling that I couldn't do anything right and that I couldn't measure up, that was where I was feeling very small compared to everybody else. Are you done? My cat is trying to get on video and kind of talk to you. Must be talking about how superior he is too. Anyway. So are your friends superior to you or mentally inferior to you? Well, I didn't like that whole comparison thing anyway, but I thought, well, what gifts would my friends have where I would feel that they were superior or inferior? Well, I had one of my friends who I call my genie, and you get to think about it in a current version. I didn't realize that in my post I could put about Aladdin and how Robin Williams did a fantastic job as a genie for Aladdin. But I use the example of more retro because it's more my age group of Barbara Eden in The I Dream of Genie. She would cross her arms and nod her head and poof, something would happen. I have a friend that can do that. And I'm telling you, she used to annoy me to no end because she would want an antique desk, poof, it would show up. And she's one of the most amazing makeup artists and beauticians that I've seen. She can create magic with her fingers. And she would all of a sudden say, I need some more money. And poof, it would be there. All of a sudden a client would book out of nowhere, or a wedding would book out of somewhere. And she would just constantly create this stuff. And it would be the most obscure things. I need to get this certain service done. All of a sudden she'd find someone who would do that, and she could trade hair so she wouldn't have to use any money. And I'd sit there and I would just be seething. I mean, like, oh my gosh, she's so superior to me. I can't stand it. Then one day she just said to me, she goes, Jax, you can do the same thing. And I thought, no. And I realized that I could. And it was like we both owned these two sports cars, and these expensive sports cars. And hers was out, she's driving with her hair in the wind, with the top down, and just enjoying her car. And mine would be in the garage, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to use it. The only difference was I never got in the car and drove it. Just get in the car, Jax. So then I realized that, okay, I need to actually use that gift. And not only use it, be aware that I have it. And that's the secret. And when you see someone that has a power and a gift, they may be manifesting it a certain way, but you have the same ability to do something like that, some creative avenue, some manifestation, some ability that I could manifest very similar to her. I just never did it. And when I realized that her superiority was a gift to me, that she wasn't a rut maker, she was a rut breaker. Because that's what she did, is that she showed me that I had to get out of my rut of feeling small and realize that I could also build myself in that same way. My other friend, my yin and yang friend, I don't know what to say about him other than I just love him. He is an incredible gift to me. He challenges me every day to think differently. He's the one that introduced to me the law of attraction. He's the one that introduced to me the law of success. And since that time, I am a brand new person. I am a changed individual. Now, I took the information that he gave me and I applied it to my life. And I brought my emotional component, and together we've created a common guru. But we are like two oars in a boat. I have the emotional intelligence side, he has the male logical side, and together we row and we go down this path. And the current sometimes takes us into different ways, and sometimes we need more male logic, and sometimes we need more female emotion, and we create the area that we're going and the path that we're going and the dream that we're creating. And it's just a phenomenal time. I know that there'll be times that I'm talking to him about something and I can go on for like a good 5 minutes, just solid time. And he'll answer with one word. Well, possibly. And I'm like, what do you mean by possibly? You're supposed to agree with me 100%, and he doesn't. And then he'll tell me the avenues in which that I need to challenge that paradigm and that thought process. And next thing you know, I'm shifting again and again and again. And he, with his just, he doesn't talk very much. It's really quite funny. And he'll have to say only a couple words, and it will be an entire difference in opinion for where I'm to going and what I'm to doing. And I don't know, honestly, where I would be without him. I'm just so, so thankful. So what kind of friends do you have? Are they friends that just tell you what you want to hear and keep you in the mindset there you are? Or do you challenge yourself by bringing your social circle, about bringing friends around that challenge you continuously? Because anyone that appears superior to you, remember, has an area of your life that you need to develop. And that's why they're there. And if someone appears inferior to you, then why do you have them there? Are you there to actually share with your information on how to help them? Or are you there to make yourself feel superior so that you don't have to challenge yourself? Food for thought. Thanks for joining, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our newest edition of the New Year, New Way series. If you want to find new examples of connecting with the Common Guru, just check down in our description box. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.